Now call State of Texas versus Lenny Nixon. You are Mr. Nixon.
Yes, sir.
Does the defendant waive a formal reading of this indictment and arraignment here? And can we proceed in summary?
He does, Your Honor.
In summary, the indictment alleges that was handed up by the grand jury on August 9th of 2023, that on or about June 25th, 2023 in Jefferson County, Texas, he committed the first-degree felony of aggravated robbery. Do you understand what you are charged with?
Yes, sir.
If convicted, you face a term of life imprisonment
Yes, sir.
or any term of not more than 99 years or less than 5 years in prison. And additionally, you may be assessed a fine up to $10,000 if you understand that.
Yes, sir.
An agreement has been reached. You would be pleading guilty based on deferred or unadjudicated probation. This can be in up to 10 years in length, fine $500. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir.
If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to this indictment charging you with this first degree felony of aggravated robbery, guilty or not guilty?
You.
Yeah, did then and there, in the course of committing theft and with intent to obtain or maintain control of property, you intentionally and knowingly threatened or placed a person in fear of imminent bodily injury or death. And you used or exhibited a deadly weapon, namely a firearm.
And Your Honor, we've gone over, there are co-defendants and we're pleading guilty. We are a party. We aided, abetted, solicited, or comforted others. So,
In what way?
well, another person that was an older gentleman stole the gun from that guy, and Mr. Nixon was actually standing apart from them, and then he walked back around, and that guy gave the gun to Mr. Nixon. And that those other guys were older than him, but they were all together. It's all on video surveillance. They were older, and that's why I think Mr. Ham was given the offer. I think they're.
It was co-defendant who was also given this very same offer.
That's correct. But it was the co-defendant that actually stole the gun and pointed the gun. Mr. Nixon did not. They just handed off the gun to him. So I think he would be more as an accessory after the fact.
Okay, it says multiple black males were wearing ski masks with guns and took his gun. Was he wearing a ski mask?
He was.
Is that right?
It's all on video. Yes, every bit of it is absolutely on video.
Your Honor, this is,
What did he knowingly and intentionally do wrong?
He took the gun that he knew was just stolen with the gun.
Was he with the group of guys?
Well, they were all standing right there by the. I'm answering for him, but he.
I know, but we're talking about first degree felony, you know.
I understand. You know.
my understanding is it was a party, Your Honor. And that's why the offer notice is Mr. Ham's case, and he's in drug court. The notes in my review of the file was
And this was just days after his 17th birthday.
It says, okay, in the complaint, it says investigation and video surveillance reveals a group of males, including Nixon, waited for the complainant to exit the store before stealing his gun out of his pocket and pointing multiple guns back at him. Nixon then received the gun from the male that initially took the gun from the complainant. All that true?
He did not point a gun at anybody, Your Honor. It's hard to describe, but it is actually.
Was he with the group though, waiting for?
He knew the
With the group.
friends, and
Okay.
they were sitting there. The other
Okay.
three persons had masks on, and he went over
I
and
guess
spoke.
the question is, why would you do such a thing? Anyway, over a gun? Really? And you were how old now?
I'm 17, sir.
When did you turn 17 before this event?
June 8th.
Uh-huh. This occurred on June 25th.
Yes, sir.
Are you kidding? You couldn't wait to become an adult so you can be involved in a crime involving a firearm?
Jeez.
That's terrible.
Around,
That's a terrible way to start adulthood, isn't it?
yes, sir.
Your Honor, he does work. He is participating with IEA, and his mentor is here and present. He's got a monitor. I've been in close contact with his family. He can successfully complete this probation. He is a non-violent person.
That's not according to this indictment, he isn't.
I understand, Your Honor, but his involvement is what I said.
I understand, but it still doesn't, you made a bad choice,
Yes, sir.
which is what seems to happen all too often in this room. How do you plead to this?
Mm.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily and because you are indeed guilty?
Yes, sir.
I'll show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1 here. Did you sign that
Yes, sir.
voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand it? Discuss it with your attorney? So the contents all true and correct.
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 is tendered into evidence.
No objection.
Without objection admitted. Among other things, this states that you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea, which is freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with. The indictment's been read to you. You've read it. You were guilty of the crime charged in any lesser included offenses. You were giving up your rights to a jury trial and the right to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses. You were totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All of this is true. It states, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, State's Exhibit 1 is made a part of the record for all purposes. Pre-sentence report, well,
It is by the
they're good. Anything else to add?
No, Your Honor, we're just asking the court to follow the.
If not, I'm going to find you were pleading guilty today voluntarily. You were mentally competent to do so. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty.
Yes,
There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 here to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. A felon
yes,
that would
sir.
follow you the rest of your life,
Yes, sir.
where you're facing life imprisonment as a potential punishment. Even though there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, I'm going to defer any finding of guilt and place you on deferred or unadjudicated probation for 10 years. You must pay a fine of $500. There will be terms and conditions of probation which are normal and customary for this type of offense.
Yes, sir.
I guess you were arrested in this. How long did you stay in jail?
1 day.
How did that work out for you?
I don't want to go back.
Well, as a condition of probation, I can place you in jail for 6 months, day for day. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm going to do. This is a crime of violence, and far too often people make bad choices. But right here, aggravated offenses, violent crimes of violence are going to be dealt with. You know better. And people are tired of being victimized by a group of thugs like you were a part of. You made a bad choice. Put people in fear of their life.
Your Honor, we would ask that you suspend the 180 days. I don't think the guy's actually stole the gun.
Yeah, let's be soft on aggravated robberies. No, I can appreciate where you're coming from, but no, we're going to set examples here. People are fed up.
You know, he does have an ankle monitor.
Okay.
That's something that can be removed.
Yeah, we don't have to do that. Are you in school too?
I graduated.
No, it's a terrible place. It's a terrible place. I can't imagine.
He is working.
1 day, much less 6 months. Do you see anything unfair about this? Nobody wants to go to jail, but you brought that on you with a bad choice and running around with a bunch of other people who make foolish choices, robbing people, stealing guns. Let me tell you, you're old enough to kill somebody by foolish behavior or hurt people.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I just want you to know we're taking firm stances and we're setting examples. We're tired of it. This is just the kind of stuff that's you think would be in somewhere else, but too often it's happening here. So that is all. Thank you.
The Emperor is not as forgiving as I am.
Selected this one for my subscribers. As Judge Boyd explains, the judicial process of bargaining with the prosecutor, with the defendant that has a public defender who wants to have another public lawyer as he isn't impressed with this one, be it that he's right or wrong. I think he should test her before throwing her away. Anyways, on with the lesson.
Your Honor, Mr. Miles would like to address the court.
All right. Hello, Mr. Mouse. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine, man.
Okay.
May I speak?
Oh, sure. Just give me one moment. Let me find you on the docket. All right. I see you. Yes, you may speak.
Okay. I would like to relieve my lawyer of her duties of representing me.
All right. Do you have an attorney that you're going to hire?
We had asked, I think the last time I was here, I asked to get a bond so that we
No,
can.
my question is,
Yes,
do you have an attorney that you're hiring?
yes, I have another attorney that's also a point courted, but I've also, me and my mother are trying to get me a lawyer that's gonna help me in my situation for my future, because my life, you know, on the line right now.
No, I understand what you're saying. So let me explain something to you.
Yes, ma'am.
The appointment will is where attorneys are, they're on an appointment will. The way it works is there's certain attorneys who are allowed to handle cases that are a certain level of felony. And that means that they have to have had so many trials and other things in order to be at that level.
Yes, ma'am.
If they are not deemed to be qualified for a specific level, then they are not allowed to be at that level.
Yes, ma'am.
So for this attorney to have been appointed to represent you, I can tell you she is qualified according to the will to be at that level of felony, which according to this, it's a 3rd degree. Now, I've been a defense attorney. I've been a prosecutor. As a defense attorney, let me tell you what my experience with some of my clients were. The state makes an offer. The client either wants their case dismissed or they ask me, why hasn't my case been dismissed yet? And I would tell them, the state makes their offer. You can either accept it or reject it. Or you can say, I'm rejecting it, but attorney, let the state know I'm willing to accept A, B, or C. And then your attorney can tell you, I don't think the state will accept that because they've already told me they're not going to accept that. But your attorney has a duty to go to the state and say, my client is willing to accept A, B, or C. Now, the prosecutor may say, that's ridiculous, or an offer may be given to you and you may say, that's ridiculous. Although I don't allow that in my court. I want everyone to be kind to each other. So people will nicely say, no, I will not give your client that. Or the client will say, no, I'm not accepting that. In this court, no one forces anyone to accept an agreement. You can accept it or not accept it. If you choose not to accept it, then you will have a jury trial. That's it. Your attorney cannot make the state give you whatever you think you deserve or whatever you want. All your attorney can do is tell the state, this is what we're willing to accept. The end. Now, if you want another attorney, then you will have to hire an attorney. Once you hire that attorney, then this case will have its jury trial date because your plea deadline date was on June 15th. And I extended your plea deadline date for today. So today is your plea deadline date. You can either accept the state's offer or not. It's completely up to you. If you choose not to accept their offer, then we will set this for a jury trial. And there are many cases that are set for jury trial. So wherever you fall, we will go to the jury trial. And what I can tell you is attorneys will tell you in this court, we move quickly on the jury trials because I don't want anyone waiting in jail for their jury trial. We did have a backlog. We had a backlog because I wasn't the first judge in this court. We also had a backlog because there was COVID and there were no jury trials. So now in this court, we're usually in trial every week. I can only do one trial a week, although one time we did do 2 in 1 week. But there are so many moving parts. One, I only have one jury room. So that's a reason why I can only do one jury trial a week. We're currently in a jury trial. So what I can tell you is your trial is not going to go today because we're currently in a jury trial. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you can accept the state's offer or not. That is completely up to you. You can issue them what's known as a counter offer, which means you're rejecting their offer, but saying this is what I can accept. And once you issue them a counter offer, they can either accept it or reject it, or they can say, we will reject this offer, but we will offer this. So that is how it works. But if you want another attorney, then you will have to retain an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Your Honor, I apologize. May I address the court?
Sure.
Mr. Miles has been very pleasant, very respectful. I've had communications with him and his mother. This case is old. And I do feel, and I think he would agree with me, that while our communications are pleasant, we have reached an impasse. I don't think that
Oh, well, when you reach an impasse, that means you go to jury trial.
I,
That's it.
no, and I understand, and I'm, whatever the court it would, I will follow the court. I just want to let the court know, I do think it would be difficult for Mr. Mao to assist me with his defense due to our impasse in the instance.
Oh, well, either he's going to talk to you or not. If he chooses not to talk to you, then you go to trial with a client who refuses to talk to you. So that's the way it works.
Yes, sir. Just wanted to address the court.
No, I appreciate that. So, Mr. Miles, if you refuse to talk to your attorney, then your attorney would go to jury trial without having spoken to you.
Okay, so I don't have an option of hiring my own attorney.
Oh, yes, you can hire your own attorney. I'm going to give you a jury trial date, but what I'm telling you is if you do not hire an attorney, this is going to be your attorney at trial. If you do not speak to this attorney is going to trial not having spoken to you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you don't speak to her about your case, then you all will be in jury trial and she's going to be sitting over there, not having spoken to you about your case, and whatever happens, happens. Do you understand?
Okay, can I ask you this one?
Sure.
Since I've been in Bear County for a month, she has not came and spoken to me until the last time I was interviewed.
All right, well, we're going to do this. Guess what? There's a jury box right over there. She's going to speak to you.
Okay, I'm asking also, ma'am, is it possible for me to have a bond so that I can reach out on
If
services?
anyone wants to file a motion, they can file a motion. But for now, just sit over the box and your attorney will speak to you. Okay.
Your Honor, and just for the record, I did file a motion to set bond on June 9th. It's pending. I just wanted to.
All right, just have the clerks pull it.
Thank you all so very much for watching to the end. Please subscribe and drop a like if indeed you did enjoy. I hope so. Until the next time, I'm off to feed those cats. And if you want to see another cool episode of mine without all the mandatory stuff, then click on the episode on screen now.